So in the new book, we have our 3 types of hunger. We've spent the majority of this conversation talking about hormonal or homeostatic hunger. You touched on hedonic. Let's end on this. Bring in the 3rd type, conditioned, and how that fits into all this.
Conditioned hunger is the sort of social. So if you think about the hunger, there's the physical, which is called homeostatic hunger. There's the emotional, which is called hedonic hunger. And then there's the social environmental, which is conditioned hunger. And that's the hunger you get when you're it's through your habits and mindsets get built up. So if you are used to eating 6 times a day, you will get hungry 6 times a day. That's actually just normal. It's classical conditioned hunger is basically there's a whole field of science called behavioral psychology, which delves into sort of conditioning and counter conditioning. But essentially, it's the effect of your environment on you, and it does it through both conditioning and social modeling are the ways that your environment sort of imprints itself and makes your own behaviors change. And it's actually probably the most important of all of them and something we don't talk about. So we think that, weight gain, weight loss is all about the individual, about willpower, and about calories. That's almost all wrong because one, it's not about calories. There's a whole sort of complex human physiology that behind weight loss and weight gain that they've ignored. But it's also mostly a environmental problem. If you take somebody who is, a Japanese person in Japan, their risk of obesity is very low. Take the same Japanese person, plunk them down in San Francisco. Their risk of obesity within a generation has skyrocketed, double, triple, quadruple the risk in Japan. Why? Because the social aspects of eating behavior are different. If you think, weight loss is all about, food and diets, like you've already lost. It's about eating behavior, how we eat. And how we eat makes a difference. There's so many interesting studies. So you can look at military families. There's a study on military families. When you move a military family into a area that has high obesity rates, they gain weight. If your best friend gains weight, your own risk of obesity goes up by like 171%. These are all social factors, right? Which means that we have to look at the system problems, right? It's crazy because if you think, imagine that you're like a school teacher and one child fails. That might be the child's fault, right? They didn't study enough, they played too much video games. Well, what if 70 children fail? Is it just the children's fault? Or is it the teacher or learning systems or school's fault, right? It's probably one of those, not the children's fault, because so many children. Now we have a situation in America where 70% of people are overweight and obese. And we still persist in saying that it's an individual problem. Eat less, move more. It's a willpower problem. But it's not. It's a system problem. What is it about the American eating behavior that is causing all these Americans to gain weight? That's the important question. Ultra-processed foods plays a big role, but conditioning and social modeling, which are the environmental determinants of eating behavior, actually play a huge role as well. So those 3 types of hunger are very important because, again, you want to think about root causes, right? Why are we overeating? So one is that the overeating is partially a hormonal issue, right? So it's the hunger that's the issue, right? And then why are you hungry? Well, it's because of the homeostatic hunger, the hedonic hunger, and the conditioned hunger. And then how are you going to, correct those problems? And there's a few things that you can do, but all of those have different sort of solutions. They're different. They're different types of hunger. They have different solutions. And just telling somebody to eat fewer calories is just such a horribly, disastrously incorrect advice. Like, it doesn't jive on any level. It's the don't drink alcohol. Don't drink so much alcohol advice to the alcoholic helped nobody ever, right? Don't take so much cocaine, like helped nobody ever. Yet, don't eat so many calories is like the height of scientific understanding. Like, no. That's horribly simplistic. It's quite incorrect.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch the full episode. I'll see you over there.
So we think that weight gain, weight loss is all about the individual, about willpower, and about calories. That's almost all wrong. Your body regulates body fat, sort of like a thermostat.